whatever it is.
I'm making sure we're
Like Twitch TV.
unmuted, unlike last time where
Yeah.
we completely fucked that up. Or I fucked it up. It wasn't you. Dude, we were totally out of it last time.
Yeah. Hopefully better show this time.
Oh, maybe.
Fuck it.
Fuck it, we're doing it live.
Yeah, it don't matter. Whatever.
And we're live, people. We've got actually some people in the chat here. And hello.
Hi.
Hello, people in the chat. Say hi. Don't be afraid to laugh at us.
Hi, people. Can you hear us? Let us know if you can hear us, because that's legit something we got wrong last time.
Well, no, they should, because I actually have us not muted, so hopefully they hear us.
In theory, okay, good.
Theoretically,
good.
They should hear us.
All right. Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of the VCR Gaming Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Mateo. And seated somewhere outside of an OR, waiting to go in to get his hamstring reattached, is our other host,
God.
Matthew. How are you, Matt?
I've been better. Actually, honestly, I'm not too bad today.
Except for your walk. Can we talk about your inability to walk? You're fucking, what do they call it when horses can't walk? Lame? That's you.
Yeah. Just put me out and back and shoot me.
Yeah.
I'm no good to anybody now. Uh-oh, did I just lose you? No. Oh.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. It completely...
I can hear you.
Yeah, that was weird. It completely froze up on me for you.
And that's why we record this individually, locally, for your listening pleasure, so you could hear all that. Yes.
So you can hear us all going like, hello, how are you? Are you there?
With your own two earballs.
So wait, did you ask like how I became lame?
Yes, let's look into how you maybe have to put down later this week.
Well, so I'm really smart, first of all. So I've been doing this whole fasting thing, and I've lost, I think I've lost 12 pounds now, in 4 weeks. And, so I've also decided to try to incorporate more working out. I can't go to the gym anymore. I can't weight lift. That's just reality of the situation.
Come on, bro, do squats.
Dude, it's my shoulder, my bum shoulder. I've got carpal tunnel in my hand. I've got, freaking a weak wrist too. So, like, I think I've told you before, we're lifting like a 5-pound weight in my right hand. It's painful. Nothing but pain.
You're all fucked up, dude. Shoulder, hamstring, just...
Yeah.
Ugh,
so I decided to do some workout, and it was some really light martial arts exercises I've done in the past, and nothing too crazy. And I was taking it really easy, but even taking it easy, I fuck myself up. So I was doing this thing where I don't even remember what you even call it, but it's basically like a leg exercise with my hip flexors, and a part of it does use my hamstring. And so I just did it, and then I'm like, okay, let me try it again. And then I do it, and then I just hear snap. And I'm like, motherfucker, I did it again.
Not good, Matt. Not good at all.
It's not good. I'm more frustrated at myself more than anything because it's... What the fuck did you just...
It's what...
What the fuck is this horse and sling?
It's a horse in a sling.
Oh, God.
That's what you're going to come into work tomorrow, and that's your desk is going to be gone. There's just going to be a sling for you to sit in, and then you can just work from there.
Yeah. Yeah, so, like, I heard that snap, and I'm like, great, I pulled my hamstring. And I've pulled my hamstring so many times ever since doing Taekwondo since I was 13. It must have been, like, a once-a-year occurrence I've pulled my hamstring. And it's basically I have to wait about 3 to 4 weeks before I can even do anything again. And...
So if you piss me off, I'm going to have to sweep your hamstring then?
Yeah, pretty much.
The weakness. Okay.
Pretty much, or just run away from me. It's not like I'm going to be able to catch up to you.
True.
True. But what was also crazy is that, so last night I was recording Magic with Zuby, and as soon as I got done, I felt something crawling on the back of my neck, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And dude, I wiped my neck off, and then
you did that crazy, like, frantic, like, slapping.
Yeah, what the fuck is that? And it turns out to be a fucking giant palmetto bug or cockroach. I mean, I know they're palmetto bugs, the bigger ones.
The bigger ones, yeah.
But they still look like fucking cockroaches, just bigger.
They fly,
Yeah, and he's like, I slapped him, and he was like crawling on my chest and down my leg, and I'm already lame enough as it is, so I'm like frantic, and I quickly get up from my chair, and I feel another snap in my leg. I'm like, motherfucker,
dude. When that shit rolls back up inside and it goes back up in there, dude,
Yeah.
like you're gonna be really hating life.
Oh, I know. I mean, what the fuck else am I gonna do? I mean, I pretty much have to suck it up. And nothing will fix it except time at this point.
Well, I don't know, because like if you keep tearing it each time further and further, it's just getting thinner and thinner, dude. That shit, like, what is it? It's like a Looney Tunes cartoon, like when they would like pull the tongue out of like, you know, and it would like roll back in. That's gonna be your hamstring.
Well, it has been about 3 to 4 years since I pulled it, so I don't know what that.
Did you take any HGH to help heal it and make it stronger and better? You should.
Yeah, that's why I've got that belly, bro.
Yeah, never mind that it's gonna add bone to your forehead. Like that's just, you know,
Joe Rogan style.
Yeah, that just makes you look, you know, distinguished.
You ever see his like before and after pictures, before HGH and after HGH?
No, really? They have that's out? Like,
oh yeah.
Okay,
I mean, you look at him like before, like in 2006, 2007, he's got a normal shaped head, and then you know you look at him nowadays, and it's yeah, you can definitely tell.
I'm looking for a before HGH and after. There's some funny shit though. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell though, because like he used to have hair.
Yeah, I know.
You know, Sylvester Stallone should not be as fucking jacked as he is at his old ass age,
dude. It's kind of. I mean, okay, I know it's good and healthy and all that stuff to be that ripped, but it's also really fucking kind of, in a sense, gross, because how old is Sylvester Stallone now? He's like 70 or some
something.
shit?
Yeah, he's got to be.
And I just think of my grandpa, who was 70, and he looked like an old man, like a normal old man.
Sylvester Stallone looks younger than in the first Rocky.
Oh, God. Yeah.
You know, his muscles and shit are all young and nice looking, but like his internal organs are all just disgusting, probably.
And they're just waiting to die, but they're just like, oh, we can't.
We can't. He makes us live. Shit. I'm looking at other, like, for some reason I typed in Joe Rogan before HGH and after, and it's funny because I literally get pictures of Sylvester Stallone because HGH was in there.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Now, you know what's funny is you know that Cobra Kai series? That's supposed to be like all Karate Kid and stuff. So
and like cram down our throats. But is that not in like everything that you fucking touch? By
dude,
the way,
have you seen it?
No,
It's so fucking good. Like if you love the Karate Kid, you will love this show. Like, dude, I binge watched it in 2.5 days. It's such a good show.
Why didn't you tell me about this?
I don't think of it. I don't know.
God damn it.
Just like you never talked about Westworld to me because I'm no, it's not the same at all, and you know why. No, but I think I will have to pick up Westworld because I see that I guess the new season's like all Japanese samurai shit.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm all like, and you know I'm really into that shit, so I'm like, okay.
I don't know that the whole season is, but I'm in whatever the episode was last night. I think episode 5, and they are in Samurai Town. Now we've seen a little bit of it before, but like they're in it now.
I'm probably gonna have to check it out because everybody's claiming it's better than Game of Thrones, and I'm like, no, let me see this shit.
It might be. It's pretty cool, dude.
Well, maybe I don't know, because certain seasons of Game of Thrones were just spectacular.
Well, you'll have to be the judge of that, won't you?
Yes, I guess I will. But yeah, I've got Cobra Kai. Yeah, I found it on the side of the street. If you want a copy of it,
I would love to. Just tell me what street that you're going to leave it in, and I'll cruise by.
What I was surprised about the most with the show is I thought they were only going to go based off of the first Karate Kid and like ignore the other movies they made. No, that they talk about all 3 Karate Kid movies. They don't mention the one with the girl because that was just plain terrible.
How dare you, Matt? How dare you? Just because she's a girl, I can't. I can't even believe you right now.
Have you seen the movie recently?
Yeah, it's fucking wretched.
It's terrible.
It's I know.
But no, it's actually a really good show. It's only 10 episodes long, and I think each episode's like only 30 minutes or something like that. And
is it over, or will there be another season of it?
Oh no, there's gonna be another season.
Oh okay.
Oh yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, man, but really good. I don't even remember what the fuck we were talking. Oh yeah, so Cobra Kai. So the age that Ralph Macchio is right now is the same age as Mr. Miyagi was in the first Karate Kid. And look at fucking Ralph Macchio now compared to Pat Morita.
Oh, I saw that on. I forget where I saw one of the fucking mini websites that did a review of it. Yeah, they had both of them next to each other.
And it's like, I mean, obviously he's probably taking Botox and whatever the fuck else, and
oh yeah,
but it just goes to show it's like, hey, being 70, you don't look 70 anymore, you look 50.
Don't ever. By the way, if you ever want to wonder if somebody like used Botox, if they can't move their eyebrows, no matter what they say, it's Botox. I'm just saying.
Oh,
that's not natural.
So I guess getting on here. Besides me becoming lame, what else have you been up to, man?
I did some things, Matt. For once, I did some things besides, take up your slack while you're out gallivanting in the magic world or whatever.
I'm going to be doing it again in August.
Yeah, well, you think you are, but I've got a... So, let's see. Saturday was a crazy fucking day. I haven't done that much in one day in a long time.
What was Saturday?
Got up a bunch, dude.
Oh, you went okay, yeah.
Yeah. We got up at the ass crack before dawn to go down to the sickest Cars and Coffee I've ever been to, dude. Who the fuck just flushed a toilet in my house while I'm podcasting? Sorry if you guys hear that.
Yeah. So that wasn't rain.
No, we went to we went to like the sickest cars. We go to a lot of Cars and Coffee, my son and I, but this one was at a private airport on Davis Island, and for you non-locals, that's where Derek Jeter lives. Okay. Like it's the upper echelon, and they have like a private airstrip on Davis Island. It's in Tampa. Well, once a year, DuPont Registry, that's like the auto trader for like hypercars and supercars. They're based out of St. Pete. Well, they do one every month, but once a year they do one at this airport, and it brings out like the nastiest of the nasty. And so we went to that, and it was nothing short of amazing. In fact, there was like, while Cars and Coffee car show was going on, and by the way, it's not like it's everything. Like it's Lamborghini, SVs to, like little project cars that are crazy, and like, BMW M3s that are swapped with different engines. So it's like a whole plethora is what I'm getting at. But anyways, so dude, while we're sitting there looking at cars, friggin' these guys take off from the airport that we're in like where they would normally park planes. They section off like half of it. And these dudes are in like you ever see like the Red Bull like air race series?
No.
You haven't seen that, like where they're like racing around like the inflatable pylons and shit, and like doing crazy maneuvers in like those propeller airplanes. Well, anyways, so it's like those guys. There's 3 of them, and they take off, dude, in formation, and they start doing shit like right above the car show, and like, dude, it was fucking awesome. Like, and this is at like 8:00 in the morning, like,
damn,
it was fucking crazy. So from there, we had a couple errands to run, and then I went on a crusade. I went on a quest. I went to a bunch of GameStops, and I went to a bunch of M&M video games. Shout out M&M. And I ended up getting a cool pickup, which I will talk about later. But that brought me all the way over to St. Pete. So then we leave there, and we decide we need a Costco membership. So we go fuck around Costco, blow my son's mind with refrigerator so big you can walk inside.
Okay.
So we get done doing our whole Costco thing, get back here, and the neighbor's like, hey, you want to go see Avengers? So we're like, okay. So take off, head out, go see Avengers, which is like 3 hours long for some reason. Why didn't you tell me?
It's a long-ass movie.
And so that was Saturday. Like I said, we ran a bunch of errands, went to Costco. I went to so many game stores looking for a really nice PlayStation Vita and a couple. Oh, I gave it away. Well, I'll get to that in a minute. And a couple of games, and then went to Cars and Coffee, and then ended up going to see Avengers. So Saturday was busy as shit, man, because on Sunday I had to fucking go into work. So that sucked. Wasn't even on call.
Yeah.
We had a planned thing. I had to go in. You worked from home, which sucked, but still better.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, well, just to let everybody know, it's like I had to work from home. I had my daughter with me. My oldest and wife were out at Disney, and I could have gone in the office too, but it really would have just. I didn't really do much except really make sure all the systems were operational. And
honest to God, there really was no reason for you to be there. Yeah. But yeah, so I had to like make up for Sunday on Saturday. So like literally we did like a 17-hour day on Saturday, dude. But like hella accomplished. So anyways, so that's what I did over the weekend. And also because of the work shit we had to do on Sunday, that's why the podcast is a couple days late. Although if you're an audio listener, you won't notice the difference because this will still be out Thursday. But live listeners, we are sorry, but we had things to do. What else, Matt? Let's talk about Avengers really quick.
Sure.
Before we get into it.
Can we talk spoilers too? Just warn people, spoilers.
Spoilers. Okay, so just skip ahead like 2 minutes if you don't want to hear it. Okay.
It'll actually be 30 minutes.
Yeah. I don't like it. It's not my... It's definitely not my favorite.
You didn't like it? Well, well, let me ask you this: did you like it more than the second Avengers? Because that's usually
Well, but come on, dude, that's shooting fish in a barrel. Like, that's like, did you like Dances with Wolves better than Avengers 2? Of course I did, and I hate that movie.
I mean, I enjoyed it more than Thor Ragnarok.
See, I didn't.
And see, my problem with Thor Ragnarok, I almost fell asleep in that movie.
You almost fall asleep in all the movies, Matt.
Lately, yes, because a lot of movies suck nowadays.
You almost fall asleep in Rogue One. You almost fall asleep in Avengers 2. You almost fall asleep in
Thor.
Friggin' Ragnarok. Man,
you know the last movie I saw that I was thoroughly enjoying the whole entire thing? The Disaster Artist. And I had the whole theater to myself.
That's pretty awesome, actually, to be able to do that.
Well, I mean, it wasn't a popular movie, but I loved the hell out of it, though.
So, all right. Well, I'm sure it's awesome. How could it not be? But
I mean, I actually really enjoyed Avengers, though. I had a fun time watching it. It was a fun movie.
What did you like?
A lot of the interactions between the characters. Characters that we don't normally see together on screen, like Iron Man and Doctor Strange, and then Thor and the Guardians of the Galaxies.
So you liked that though, but you didn't like Ragnarok because the two things you just talked about were like funny parts of the movie.
But I feel like Thor. Okay, so in Thor Ragnarok, the thing that I didn't like the most was the villain. The villain was completely boring, and she just took up way too much screen time. And I felt like the movie could have been shortened. Now, I do agree that
she was a nothing boss.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
And Avengers could have been shortened as well because there were times where I'm like, okay, let's wrap this up here. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, my God. It's because they had so many people in it they were having to cut to,
Yeah. But I will say the best thing about the new Avengers movie was Thanos. They fleshed out Thanos so well in that movie. And
so are you looking at that with like rose-colored glasses though, and the fact that in the comics he's super fucking shallow and his reason is shallow?
Oh yeah, his reason is really shallow in the comics, but in this movie they kind of made more sense as to why he wants to destroy half the universe, and they didn't give him just some shitty plot of he wants to get with death, and that's why. And
I don't know.
I will say the one thing that this series of movies has failed to do is make Thanos seem more threatening than he actually is, because when you really think about it, you don't really hear much about Thanos at all until the past couple years.
Right.
He's supposed to be he was the mastermind behind the Avengers 1 with the whatever the fuck their names are, those alien races, and and just so much other shit too. But we don't really hear anything about him. Like, there's this big bad guy coming, and we gotta figure it out.
Right.
But I mean, I feel like overall the movie was good, and I enjoyed it. I definitely did.
Now, I don't know how you would make this movie without CGI, so I can't knock it for that. But far too much CGI, far too much cheesy CGI. Yeah. Let's talk about the fucking Thanos glove thing, okay?
The Infinity Gauntlet.
Why is that so hard to take off of his hand when he's basically incapacitated? Okay, he couldn't have it closed, because if it was closed, he would have activated one of the stupid fucking stones and wrecked everybody. So how come they couldn't get it off his hand?
Dude, have you ever tried to take off a piece of equipment that's specifically fitted for your hand? It can be tough.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I also think that's a stupid weapon and a cop-out. I also think that the whole stones thing is dumb.
But I mean, that's part of the whole comics, though.
I get it. Maybe I just don't like it in general. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I just like Iron Man 1 too much.
Did you feel like, do you like the movies that are more, even though these are fantasy movies, do you like the Marvel movies that are more grounded in reality compared to this fantastical adventure here?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. I mean, I know where you're coming from that aspect. But to me, this was just a fun, dumb popcorn movie.
Okay, hold on. I just had an epiphany, though. I like Guardians of the Galaxy, and I give it a pass because it's supposed to be ridiculous. It's in space, and who knows what's real and what's not in space.
Yeah.
I get the Avengers, like Spider-Man and Tony Stark, and you know what I mean? When you throw them out into space and shit, and like it's just, I don't know, man. There's just something about it, but. It wasn't a bad movie. It's not my least favorite Marvel movie. It's not, I don't know. It's okay. It was really funny though, because my son didn't have any clue like what was going to happen, and he does not like the movie because of that.
Yeah.
Which is funny. I didn't want to spoil it for him, you know.
Okay.
I thought about warning him, but I'm like, no, that's messed up. Let him figure it out. And that's another problem I do have with the movie. Like, I didn't read the comic, but I did read like the shit you should know, from the comic before you see it. And like, they killed off way more Avengers and more prominent ones in the comic than they did in the movie. Spoiler, sorry.
Well, it's also, we still have to wait for part 2 where there were going to be some very prominent Avengers that should be dying like they do in the comics, but
I hope.
We'll have to wait and see.
I really thought Tony Stark was done, by the way, in that one part.
I kind of almost hope that he is, because I mean, Robert Downey Jr. has done enough justice to that character,
Oh, he is Iron Man. Yeah, absolutely. They shouldn't reboot it for a long time either because of that.
I agree with that. I will say probably the funniest part for me in that movie was what was it? Thor introducing Groot to Steve Rogers, and he's like, "I am Groot," and he's like, "I am Steve Rogers." Dude, I was dying laughing at that part.
The part my son and I liked a lot, and my wife, was when Doctor Strange meets Spider-Man, and he's like, "Hey, I'm Peter." He's like, "I'm Doctor Strange." He's like, "Oh, we're using our made-up names." He's like, "I'm Spider-Man." That shit was pretty good. Yeah.
No, but like I said, I enjoyed it. And it's just gotta wait. I mean, for anybody who thinks any of those Avengers are dead, I mean, come on, we already know there's a Black Panther 2. We already know there's a Spider-Man 2 coming out. We already know there's some other Marvel movies that are coming out.
Ant-Man and the Wasp is coming out, although they weren't affected in this one.
Yeah,
but
they weren't even in it.
No, but they're supposed to be in Avengers 4 though, which is next year.
Yeah, I think so.
2019 sometime. Yeah. So. But
that's right. This is technically Avengers 3. I still think of Civil War as like a Avengers movie because it has almost all of them. I know, but it's almost all of them in it.
I know. It's all a mess now. They've really blended it all together.
Yeah.
What else? I guess that's it as far as what's been going on and movie talk, Matthew. What should we jump into? Do you want to jump into? Let's talk about pickups and what we've been playing and all that good shit. Sure. You want to go? You want me to go?
Sure, I'll go first.
Okie dokie.
Two of the games are going to be really quick that I've been actually three of the games. So let me just do pickups real quick. Today we picked up Mega Man Legacy Collection for the Switch. I traded in my PS4 versions and got the Switch version because I'd rather play Mega Man on the go.
Hell yeah.
It's exactly the same as the PS4, Xbox One versions. It's just nice to have it portable.
Is the menu the same too?
Oh yeah, it's exactly the same game for both of them, so no difference at it. I was actually playing some of the challenges before we started recording, and the challenges, at least for the first collection, the challenges are fun. I think I may go through all of them because they are pretty fun to do. They just sort of remake the levels and make them harder, or you have to go through the levels backwards or whatever. So it's a nice little twist. And
Whoa,
then
backwards.
Yeah, so
that's a mind fuck. Holy shit.
Oh yeah. Sort of like trying to go through Super Mario Brothers backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever played the NES remix games?
Mm-hmm.
Those games are actually pretty fun to pick up
So
and play.
fun. Oh my god, I love those games, dude.
I wish we had them on the Switch.
They're such a great quick pickup game too. Like and you totally feel satisfied and get your fill. Like I thought it was gonna suck because some of the games like it has you play, you like could literally give a fuck about, but they give you a challenge to doing it. You're like, oh shit, and you're like hooked, you know?
Yeah. So I started playing Mega Man 1, and I'm right at the Dr. Wily's fortress, like in the second or third level.
Within like an hour?
Yeah.
That's crazy, you guys.
I mean,
crazy.
Like, I played these games so many times, and I'm going to try and go through all 10 of them again, but I'm going to take my time doing it. I'm not going to rush through it. Mega Man 1 is so short. Actually, a lot of the first 6 Mega Mans are really short games, honestly. It's when it gets 7, 8, 9, and 10, they get slightly longer.
And the X's are a little longer. Some of the levels are a little longer.
Yeah, Mega Man X games are a little bit longer. Like Mega Man X1 is pretty short. X2 and X3 is slightly, longer a little bit. But I've also been playing Call of Duty World War II again, just playing online. Ever since the announcement of Black Ops 4, I'm pretty hyped for it. Yes, Call of Duty fanboy, I know. I stopped playing for so long, and now I'm hooked back into it. And it's
Can I ask you about World War II? Is the prop thing gone? Is that true? The prop hunt game?
It looks like it's a sort of I don't know what you would call it, like a holiday type game, like or event type game, because whenever they do these new events, it pops up again. And I did play it again, and it's still funny as hell.
Yeah.
But I just played some team deathmatch or no domination, and just had some fun with that. And since I have Twitch Prime, I unlocked a whole bunch of loot boxes and all that stuff, and I'm like, okay, cool. So, and then I've been playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2 again. I got to chapter 4 now. I'm 20 hours into the game, and I feel like I just now got past the beginning of the game. Which
fucking damn you JRPGs, damn you.
I know. I did have to take a little break from it because, I'm 20 hours into it, and it feels like the game is now opening up a little bit more, and it's getting almost to that point where it's a little overwhelming with the amount of content I have to do right now. And I want to do all the side quests and stuff because it helps you unlock more equipment and all that.
Isn't it crazy how that works sometimes? Like sometimes you can't wait to get to that point, and then when you do, you're like, all right, I'm done for tonight.
Yeah.
That's too much.
Dude, it gets overwhelming because I've got I've got the main story quest, and then I've got like 10 side quests to do right now, and I'm like, oh god. And plus I need to do some grinding to get levels and all that stuff.
Side quests. That's next level, son.
Yep. So I've been playing that. So then I also picked up a new game on the Switch. It's from the eShop. It's an indie game called Wizard of Legend. And Wizard of Legend is a roguelike game. It's similar to Binding of Isaac, but better. Because I could never get into Binding of Isaac. It was, I don't know, playing like a stupid little baby. Just kind of.
It's addictive, but yeah, I know what you mean.
It's a fun game. Don't get me wrong. I played like maybe 3-4 hours of it. I know that's not a lot of hours, but at least to get a feel for the game, and it's fun. It's just I don't like it. I guess I'm not a fan of that kind of gross out content because
Yeah.
and it's just like, okay, this is dumb. But
This is a PC game that was ported over, so some of our Master Race listeners
yeah, that's right.
might have played it.
This is on Steam as well.
It is, yeah.
So the game kind of reminds me of, even though it is a roguelike game similar to Binding of Isaac, it kind of reminds me of Diablo in a sense, because you're going through these dungeons and you have these magical powers like flames, wind and electricity and water.
And the hits look very impactful in
Yeah.
their 8-bit, 16-bit sort of way. Yeah, I get that, and it shows like the damage that's done and all that. You're right, when you said that, like, it kind of hit. I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so it plays very similar to Diablo 3 on the console, if you've played that before, minus the isometric view. It's a top-down view. And you go through a 10-level dungeon, and you have to try to get as far down as you can, and I can only get to level 3, and that's when you fight one of the first bosses. And dude, those bosses are ridiculously hard.
I bet.
It's just, and I feel like I don't have enough good powers unlocked right now, so I've just been kind of grinding. You have two currencies. You have gold, which is only spent for when you're in the dungeon, and then you have these crystal gems, which you keep after you die, and you have to keep collecting those crystal gems to unlock and buy better powers and equipment.
Okay.
So that's pretty much my grind right now, is I'm working on unlocking all the armor that you can get, and then I'm going to start working on unlocking the rest of the spells and all that stuff I can get.
Tight.
Yeah.
Tight. So you got two things. So you made a post recently. I'd like
Hello, are you
for
there?
the Switch.
Oh, there you are.
You are. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you made a post recently on Twitter talking about you wish you had more games for the Switch. And you're kind of getting blessed with that now. You've got Megacy. I just combined Mega Man and Legacy. Mega Man Legacy Collection, which isn't new, but it's something to play on the Switch. You've got Wizard of Legend. You've got Xenoblade Chronicles. We're about to get Octopath. What's
Thursday? Bloodstained.
I was just gonna say Thursday. So, dude, you're swimming in the Switchness. You got what you asked for, dude. And anybody that, by the way, is on the fence about a Switch, think about all the shit I just named, and think about if you want to play any of those on top of the Nintendo IPs that are fucking excellent. Like that, it's becoming the time to buy one if you're waiting or whatever. And I'll preach more about mobile in a minute, but yeah.
Yeah, so that tweet I made, like, I literally spent over an hour in the Nintendo eShop to try and find a game, right? And like, I'm going left and right. I'm looking on YouTube. I'm Googling, hey, good Nintendo eShop games. And everybody keeps listing the same games over and over and over again. And I'm just like, that's why I made that tweet. I'm like, fuck, I want to play the Switch. There's nothing out there. So what got me looking at this game, Wizard of Legend, was one of the Twitch channels I watch, and also Red Letter Media, they have their own streaming channel called Previously Recorded. They were playing this game, Wizard of Legend, and so I'm watching them play it. They're talking about the game, and they're not really talking. He's more playing the game, and he's talking about other shit while he's playing. And I'm watching the game like, dude, this looks fucking fun. Because I've watched videos of this before, and I saw the trailer. I'm like, it doesn't look that good. And so watching the gameplay, though, made me really want to pick this up.
Changed it, yeah.
Yeah. Because I was originally, like, very close getting Metal Slug, and then I watched some gameplay of it, and I'm like, I feel like I don't want to play this, this kind of game right now.
Right. Yeah, you got to be in the mood for Metal Slug. Metal Slug's a great quick pickup, like, shooter game or whatever, but yeah, you got to be in the mood for sure.
Yeah, the Wizard of Legend is a type of game where I can pick up, play 10, 15 minutes, make some progress in it, because, I can collect that currency.
Yeah, it's definitely deeper.
Yeah.
Well, think about it. Metal Slug was a fucking arcade game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this is much different, and I get it. It scratches that itch better.
Yeah, definitely. So
Matt got what he asked for spring Christmas.
Yep. And then by the time this
Switchness.
podcast comes out, it will be time to play that Bloodstain, which I'm excited about that shit.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. I'm going to grab that as well. So we will let y'all know about that next week for sure.
Well, I don't know. Well, maybe we will next week, because we need to mention that we're going to be at Megacon, and we're going to be live streaming from there too.
Mega motherfucking con in Orlando, bitch.
Hells yeah.
Yep. So we're gonna be there. We're gonna live stream from there. We're gonna interview. We're gonna do some show content. We're gonna have our shirts on.
Oh shit, that's right. I better find my shirt.
Yeah, fine. Wash that shit. I already got mine prepped. I shouted out some stains on it and shit. So we good. No, I didn't. But yeah. So Megacon in Orlando this weekend. We're gonna be there on Sunday. What's that date? Like the 20. Hey, calendar. How are you? The 27th. We will be there. We will be there sometime around 10 in the morning till when we feel like leaving. So
yeah,
hit us up. We'll post it on Twitter and shit.
Oh yeah,
and
for sure.
Instagrams.
Yeah.
By the way, we crossed over 200 followers on the Instagram. Early this week. Late last week. Friday. Yep.
Let me check.
Shout out to Christian at work. He became our 200th follower.
Ooh, we're at 211 right now.
211, yeah.
Nice.
Yep. So thank you everybody for jumping on board with that. That's pretty fun. It's growing really well. I think we still have more on Twitter. In fact, I know we do, but it's cool to build up Instagram and shit. So
yeah, that's something. That's why I sort of leave the Instagram to you, because I'm like, I barely know what I'm doing on it.
Nah, it's all good, and we both post on there. So
I try.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That is right. Before we get into your games and all that, there was another thing I forgot to mention. So I am actually going to be working on redoing my office setup here to try to make it more gaming friendly, because I've gotten some ideas after going over your house again.
Okay.
And so stay tuned for pictures of that. It's probably not going to happen for about a month or two, because I need to buy some furniture and all that, and some of the furniture I want to buy is a little bit on the expensive side. So
you're gonna set yourself up like a little cozy gaming area there.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna move my computer desk, and I'm gonna have to run some cable. And oh yeah,
not a Zuby strong suit. Not a Zuby strong suit. Everybody.
Well, no. I can run the cable. I just can't make it look good.
Actually, I don't have any room to talk. You saw my game room cabling.
Yeah.
it's not the best.
Yeah. So
cool. Well, that's badass. So yeah, check that out. Follow up on Zuby on that. And dude, that's really exciting news, man. It's always fun to hear that, like when somebody's gonna embark on that. You know, like I don't know why. I get excited for game rooms, dude. I don't know. Like,
oh yeah. I mean,
I'm such a nerd. I follow like everybody's game room and shit on social media and shit. Like,
well, the biggest reason. I mean, not only have you inspired me, but also another big reason is I'm sort of running out of room for all my Magic card shit.
Oh, that's a real problem too. You have a fuckload.
Dude, and you know what? I don't even have that many compared to my buddies.
I know. to a fucking a noob, a Magic noob like me, it seems like a lot.
I think if I had to guesstimate how many cards I have, there's 24 in each, so probably about 70 to 80,000 cards. Damn. That's not even that much.
Well, to a muggle like me, it's a lot.
To a muggle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a problem. But anyway, so what have you been playing?
Matthew, let me talk about my pickups first, okay?
Yeah, you have some pretty awesome pickups.
Yeah, I try. I'm probably going to end up in like a pickups hole though, because I've bought quite a lot recently. And
yeah, you have. I think I need to step my game up. I've been slacking so bad.
Yeah, I have enough shit to play right now that I can chill the fuck out. So we talked about this a little bit today, Matt. I'm so like going further and further. God, I cannot fucking talk tonight. Into a mobile hole that like. I only want to play mobile shit. I want to be fucking comfortable. I want to be where I'm at, and I want to play mobile shit. I don't want to fucking.
I know the feeling, man.
I don't want to sit in front of fucking, in a big ass TV, and I mean I do, but I don't. I mean like. Yeah,
it depends on the game. Like Call of Duty, I don't mind playing in front of a TV.
Yeah, something like that. You kind of need the bigger screen and shit like that. No. And don't get me wrong. Like I'm not signing off on consoles, but like, dude. I like the idea of no matter who's using what TV or what's going on, or if I'm going to end up being stuck somewhere, I'm going somewhere, that I can play a real ass game. I'm not talking about mobile games. Fuck cell phone games. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about I want to play fucking Zuby gets it, so y'all jump on board. But I don't want to play freemium. Like, I want to play a real ass fucking game, and I want to be deep in it, and I want to be involved, and I don't know. So I broke my my other handheld that I bought, RIP, Neo Geo Pocket. And I was going to get another one, but I can't, like, all the deals that were on eBay for them they evaporated. I didn't buy quick enough.
Yeah.
So I had this whole, like, I want to play something. So I found my way into the game store, and I can't remember. It's like Action Comics and Collectibles or something. I'm probably getting it wrong, but it's out in Brandon. And I was there, and I was just looking around, and I was like, holy shit, they got Pokemon Fire Red for the Game Boy Advance. Now, I love my Game Boy Advance. I got an SP last year. I never had one before, and I was like, I'm going to play the shit out of this. Let me tell you about that game. It's Pokemon Red.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it'd be like a new experience.
Nope.
But it's like DLC Pokemon Red.
Yeah.
So I've played that game so much, man. Like,
I'm sorry you were so disappointed, but you should have asked me, because
I know.
Should ask me about it, and I'd be like, oh, it's just a remake of Red. The best thing about it, and something I told you, is if you're one of those collectors of trying to fill up your Pokedex in each Pokemon game, you have to have Fire Red and Leaf Green in order to fill those up, because you can trade up from Game Boy Advance to DS, from DS to 3DS, and
it's the only way to get some of those Pokemon. Yeah. Huh?
Yep.
That's really interesting how they did that across different platforms, by the way.
I'm glad they did that too, because there's people that they're the collector, the hoarders, and all that stuff, and
it helps them.
Yeah, for sure.
It started in like the DS realm to go backwards and play the other game to get them, possibly. I don't know. Yep. Which I'm always all for. But I'll probably play it a bit. I don't know. I'm already like halfway through Yellow playing on the SP. And like, yeah, it looks a lot better, Fire Red. Like, the graphics are much improved, but it's still the same game.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm going to pick that back up or not. If I do anything, I'll probably resume my Yellow game, because I'm already way farther and I have like tons of Pokemon that are powered up and shit.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
So that didn't scratch the itch, right? That didn't settle it. Now I also grabbed a game called Nemesis. It's a little side shooter, a little shmup, for regular ass Game Boy. Matt, you and I played it for about 3.2 seconds while you were over here the other day.
And I mean, even though I only played it for about 5 seconds, I would have definitely enjoyed this game as a kid.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It looks enjoyable. it's not scratching that itch. And honestly, I got it for like $4 or something like that, or $5 or something. So I was like, fuck it. I'll take a shmup for any system for $5, like any day of the week. I love them. So I probably will play that. It's not what I'm looking for. So as I'd fucking messed up before, I went on a hunt. I was like, well, I can't get the shit that I want. I've always wanted a Vita since they've come out. I've never bought one for various reasons. I was like, screw this. I'm going to find the nicest Vita that I can find today. This was Saturday. We're out and about. We got up early as fuck. I'm going to find one. Melissa's like, totally, let's do it. Let's go to the shops. Let's look at multiple this and that. So that's what I did. And I ended up getting a complete in-box. They call it a Slim, so it's the second gen Vita. There's 2 gens. One's got a OLED. The first gen has an OLED screen, which is really, really nice, but it's a lot fatter, heavier, less battery life, and it uses like a proprietary charging cable. And then the Slim, or the 2000 series or something like that, I don't remember what it's called.
Okay.
Uses micro USB to charge, and
that sounds better.
It is. It's got a little bit longer battery life. It's a lot lighter. It's thinner, but the screen isn't an OLED. However, it's no slouch. Like, the screen is still really fucking nice on it. The OLED is probably better in sunlight, and maybe for like some darker colors, but like the screen on the second one, don't run away from it just because of that. So I grabbed it, got a complete in-box one with, everything. It has like all the paperwork and all that shit. And I grabbed 2 games. I got Uncharted, Golden Abyss, and Persona 4 Golden, which is also something that everybody talks about Persona.
Yeah.
Persona.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about that shit, Matt.
I know.
You've never played one. I've never played one. They get amazing reviews. Like, if you Google like top JRPGs on the Vita. It's like consistently number 1 or number 2 on the system. And it's like, people they can't be wrong about this. Not everybody. I mean, I play JRPGs, so I went ahead and grabbed.
Oh, so Persona, that's part of the Shin Megami Tensei series.
It is, yeah, it's a spin-off of it. Yep.
So I have played a Shin Megami Tensei on PS2.
That's where it all kind of spawned from. How did you like that game, Matt?
Oh god, it was so long ago. I don't remember that, but I remember enjoying it.
Okay.
I don't remember much else though about it at all.
I don't know. I've never. All I know is like during the day you're like a high school kid and you have all kinds of social things to do and stuff and whatever, and then at night you have to fight off demons and shit, and you got your clique, your crew, and you guys kick ass and take names. So I don't know. It can't be that bad if so many people are into it. And I was gonna get Persona 5, but it's still a little pricey, so I was getting a Vita anyways, and until 5 came out, this was the Persona game to have. So I just grabbed it. I haven't played it yet because I'm playing Uncharted, which is definitely going to be a much quicker game to get through. In fact, I jumped on that shit Saturday. I'm already halfway done with Uncharted and haven't touched. Well, I did touch God of War for a few minutes, but haven't touched God of War because of Uncharted on the Vita. I'm not saying it's the best Uncharted game in the world.
Yeah.
But it's I'm starting to get that mobile feel that I was looking for. So I'll let you guys know about Persona, but I've been playing the shit out of Uncharted on the Vita. Now, some negatives about that. So if you guys don't know, the Vita is not only touchscreen, but has a touch thing on the backside. And this was like a launch title or damn close to it. And Sony obviously wanted to show off what it could do with one of their, IPs. So it's so gimmicky, you guys. Like, it's like, oh, do you need to cut something with your machete? Slice it with your finger on the touchscreen. Like, why? Like, why can't I pull the machete out and melee with it? Like, why do I? So there's that. And then there's like, you have to like take pictures with a camera for things, which whatever, it's kind of fun. Like to try to you have to like get the exact same like picture as the picture they show you. And you unlock shit for doing that. Like if you get all of them in the level or whatever. But the way to run the zoom is the touch on the back, and it's like not sensitive at all. Or it's oversensitive, I'm sorry. Then they have like shit like where you'll find artifacts, Matt, and I'm not even kidding you. You have to clean them off by rubbing them and spinning them around with the front and back panels. Jeez. It's so fucking gimmicky for no other reason than to just do it. And like you'll have to take like charcoal rubbings of like goddamn everything in that game. So guess what? You're rubbing your finger on it. So
I don't like that.
No, it's so dumb, dude. It's so dumb. And it's totally just for the sake of doing it. Like, it doesn't add anything to the game. Like, there's no reason why, like in other Uncharted games, when Drake finds something that he needs to remember, he'll just automatically jot it down in his fucking journal. I didn't have to do anything. Yeah. Like, so those aside, the only other downside is it does take a little while for the story to really kind of draw you in. It does start off a little slow, but once it does, it's not bad, and I'm enjoying it. So if you can look past the gimmicky shit and you can stick with it, a couple hours for the story to kind of pick up, it's pretty good. I'm liking it. I'm gonna finish it. So, but yeah, what else? So God of War, I played it a little bit. Last I talked, I had to summon the world serpent. I think I told you, Matt, and and then you said like I'll be fighting the final boss. Mm-hmm. I did go into the serpent and get the crystal eye thing and came back out, and asshole face, the last boss, has just like confronted me, and I stopped it there because I knew that was going to be a big whole thing, and I had to get back to Uncharted. So
Jesus.
No, it was like crazy late, and I just was like couldn't keep my eyes open. So I know I'm at the end for sure now, and I haven't done it yet. So maybe by next week I'll fight that last battle.
You better.
I will. It's kind of bothering me now, that it's not been done. So another game I actually played this week before last, and I forgot to talk about it, was a game called Cluster Truck on the PC. It was free on Twitch Prime.
I still need to check that out because
Did you download it?
No, I claimed it on my Twitch account. I haven't downloaded it though.
Yeah, as long as you claimed it, you're good.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's fun. It's nothing deep by any means. it looks like it would be like an app game or a mobile game, but there's no like microtransactions or any. Well, there might be. I don't know, but you don't need to do any of that. And it's best played, Matt. You're gonna find real quick that pick up your Xbox 360 controller on the PC. Some of the way you have to maneuver the camera and your guy, WASD and the mouse doesn't quite cut it.
Okay.
Because you know how like sometimes you need to go like sort of like in a way that WASD kind of can't really translate. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like, so sometimes it's a little bit better on the controller. I know. So Aiden and I played that. He really likes it a lot. It's real challenging, but it's enough that it keeps you coming back. So if you guys have Twitch Prime, I think it's for this month. Check it out. It's pretty fun. It's fun to play with your kids. They'll like it a lot, and there's nothing bad about it or anything. So. That's it, Matt. That's it for my pickups. All my stories. I've talked like forever. Played games. Do you have any questions on any of the Vita stuff, Matt, before we put it to bed?
You just need to bring it to work because I've never actually messed with a Vita. I've never touched one or anything.
Well, you can touch mine, Matt.
Ooh, okay.
Show me on the Vita where he touched you.
VCR Gaming After Dark.
It's getting dirty.
It's getting dirty.
All right, I'll bring it in tomorrow, man. I didn't even think about bringing it. I should.
Yeah, because like I said, I've never messed with it before.
Yeah, it's a cool little system. The Switch, now that it's getting more games, it's a little more, it's a little more powerful. It's a little more modern. It's a little, do you need a Vita? Probably not. Do you want something portable to play a bunch of different titles on? Are you into JRPGs?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do you want to use it to play PSP and PS1 games on the go? Because that's officially supported on it, which is badass. I never played it, and play a PS1 game on the go. And everybody's like, "Oh, I do that. I did that shit on my phone back in fucking '08, bro." And it's like, yeah, you did it with shitty fucking touchscreen controls. I've done it too. Trust me, it's better with real controls. You don't want to carry a fucking, a controller around to play games on your phone. That's fucking whack. So, yeah. Anyways, all right, I digress. Anyways, so I'm in a Vita hole. I'll bring it in for you, Matt.
Oh no, that's all right. Do we want to go to some of our main topics we have here?
I think we should.
I guess we mentioned it earlier. We're going to be live at Megacon this weekend, and be sure to check our Twitter and Instagram, I guess, because I'm going to stream us live as well, too, just to show around the convention and show some cool cosplay and some of the stores. We're gonna have to do some game hunting as well, too. Thank God we get paid this week. So
I know. Ooh. Melissa, don't listen.
She's right outside the door. She's like, "Oh, I know what you're gonna be doing."
She's popping in and out on Twitch. I can see when the number goes up and down. It's her.
Oh man, sorry, Melissa.
Dude, I sent her. I got that T-shirt today while you were picking up Mega Man. And I was like, hey, I went to GameStop with Zuby today and I didn't buy any games. And she sent me like the shocked face emoji. I was like, but I got this sweet ass Japanese PlayStation shirt.
Dude, I came so close to buying a shirt too. They had a Dungeons and Dragons shirt that looked pretty cool, but I'm like,
it was sweet.
No, it's just wasted money.
So we both restrained ourselves then. If we're looking, you restrained yourself from buying clothing and I restrained myself from buying a game. Like we win that. Yeah, go us.
Well, maybe.
Yeah. So you want to go tomorrow and get that shirt?
No.
All right. So what do we got? Matt. You came over to my house, to my dwelling, and you brought with you something called an MTG Cube.
Magic the Gathering Cube.
Yes, for all you muggles out there. All right. Listen, I'm fucking pro now. All right.
You are.
With zero help at all from Zuby, I beat him once. Okay. And by zero, that there's an asterisk next to that. So
no. So I guess to quickly explain it to people who don't play Magic the Gathering. So think of a Magic the Gathering cube as sort of like a board game where you, so typically with Magic the Gathering, you build your own decks and you play against each other, right? So what Magic the Gathering Cube is, it's sort of like a booster draft on the go where you can you have a set of cards anywhere from 360 cards all the way up to 720, and you and a friend or some friends will take all those cards and build decks out of them and just play each other.
But it's like you pick like 90 out of that chunk and then build your deck from that, right? So like forces you.
No. We just played something called Sealed, which is it's something better to play since it was only you and me.
Gotcha.
So, like I said, I don't want to dive too deep into the formats and the way you play, but think of it like a board game. The cube is something that's personal to each person who makes a cube. You decide what archetypes are going to be good. You have to try and balance each color of Magic the best you can, and it is very tough because it's hard to balance all those colors out, and it's a lot of fun too. It's an attempt
to make it fair for no matter who's picking it up, though, right? Because you have just as much of a chance as the other guy to luck of the draw, build a deck type thing.
Yeah. So one of the fun things about Cube is putting a lot of powerful cards in it. So that way, when you are trying to build a deck, it makes the choices that much harder to build a good deck because there's so many powerful things to do.
Oh, dude, we spent quite a while building our decks before we started, like for sure, which is part of the fun.
Yeah, I mean that's part of my favorite thing about Cube is, I built a red-black sort of vampire goblin deck, which I've never gone red-black before, and you built this like green.
Zuby's not racist; those are the different elements. Just pointing that
out. And so you built like a green-blue, sort of like just plain old creature beatdown deck.
Yeah,
you had some good hydras in there.
Simple.
Yeah, I mean, no, you had good cards in it. I'm pulling up the picture now.
Zuby's like, oh, I'm going to pull this out, which makes me pull this out, which I'm going to kill this off, but then this lets me bring it back, and then I'm going to tap one, but it's untapped, and then I'm going to keep doing it to you until you're dead. And then I'm like, I got a guy.
No. That was just when I was showing you some of the infinite combos. But no, but I did have some cards to be able to bring back stuff if I wanted to, and thankfully I never had to do that.
Honestly, I'm not. So for me, and this might work for some listeners and stuff as well, Matt. Like, for me, like the whole Magic thing is too hard to get into because it's like there's so much. I don't know where to start. I don't know what's good. I don't necessarily have a shitload of money to dump into getting a good starter amount. You know what I mean? So like to play something like the format we did, I guess it's Cube Sealed. Mm-hmm. Honestly, is something I would like. I like that. It's like, what can you you're forced to use this. What can you come up with and go? You know what I mean? Like dude, I really enjoyed that. I don't know what that is about me or whatever, or what that says, but like, I think that's a great entry level way to introduce people to that game as well.
I wouldn't consider this a good entry level way because it's a lot of the mechanics that you and I were playing are a lot more advanced.
Well, like what if you were like you and I, like you're being introduced to somebody who's more who is familiar with it, right? To kind of bring you on board. It's quick. It can get you into it. For someone
like you, yes, it's fine. But if someone brand new to Magic, like I wouldn't have your son play the cube because it'd be way too hard for him.
It's too deep. Yeah. What do you do for somebody that's new to it? What do you do? Because that's one of my things. It's too overwhelming.
There are specific intro decks, and I can bring those over if you're ever interested. Okay. And those decks are very powered down, where they're more simple mechanics, and they do have if you go to a game store, they do have what they call welcome decks, which are even weaker than the intro decks. So, and that just teaches you the bare bones basics.
Okay.
And I mean, that's probably the best way to go and play. And then plus, if you go on Steam and download the game Magic Duels, it's a free computer game that teaches you the very basics of magic as well too.
You pluralized it.
Yeah. So I mean, those would be the routes that I would go if I was teaching a new player. And but the cube is good for you, but I wouldn't recommend this to new players at all.
I guess then maybe the right thing to say about it, Matt, and excuse my ignorance, guys, is that like it's a good non committal way to jump in and have some fun. You know what I mean? Like, and
yeah, because you could even build a cube too if you ever got interested in it, because because cubes are all personal to yourself. There's no right or wrong way to build a cube. If you literally wanted to build just a monocolored cube where your favorite color in Magic is blue, right?
Right.
If you just wanted to build a blue cube, go ahead, do it. You know.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to build certain archetypes. You know, they're
right.
Like each color has its own theme in it, and it's hard to balance it that way a lot of times.
True. And it's super strategy-y. Like, I feel like if you're into like strategy RPGs, like this would be up your alley. You know what I mean? Like worrying about, resources and turn-based, and what if I do this, what are they going to do? What, what's going on over there? What options they have? It's a lot like that. So if that's something that interests you, or hell, if you're into board games in general, like this is right up your alley. So, Magic is something I've messed with here or there in the past. I very, very casually. And the things that keep me out of it, I feel like playing Cube with somebody experienced is, for me, I guess, then is the right level. And maybe, if you are in a similar boat, that's something you should probably try and do. But I thought it was cool. And I had a really good time. You were really nice to me, by the way. Like,
well, dude,
you could have ended me like so many different times. And
I know, but you're not going to learn anything though. And like the one time when you beat me, you have the thing that a lot of new players do that they don't think about the long-term effects of the board state and the cards in their hand, the potential, what their opponent can do and all that. And like you and I discussed about is, I feel like especially you were getting a little bit too worried about your life and all that. You don't worry about your life until you're dead.
Basically, it's just a number. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
which, that could probably translate to a lot of things, like a lot of games too. Like so many times, like, God, they'll go down like maybe like a quarter of the way, and I'm like searching for a green stone to stomp. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in my head, it's like I'm basically out. Like, and you're not. You're fine. Maybe you'll play a little better, a little harder, and you won't even take any more damage.
Yeah.
It's probably just a good method in general, a good lesson learned there from the game world. Yeah. So.
Oh.
What else, Matt? What else?
Well, a next one. Well, so we had an episode at this place, and unfortunately it has closed, and that is Neverboard Gaming.
Man.
They announced last week that they are shutting the doors down, and they bid us all a fond farewell.
The place was popping when we were there. It was really nice. Everybody was chill. It did seem to be packed, but I guess that's not everything,
No, and so it's funny because I've been going there for a while. I mean, ever since it's been open. And that night that you and I went there to do the podcast, it was really crowded. And then the next week and the week after that, it just was getting less and less people. And I think that was only a small part of it. And I'm not meaning any disrespect towards Bobby or Sako or anything like that. But
no, absolutely not.
They did have some big problems, at that store. And I've talked to a lot of the other people that I would play with there. And I think the two biggest problems they had was the size/seating and the available product. There were so many times I would go into that store wanting to buy something, but they didn't have anything to buy.
Man, and we did kind of bring that up on the episode that Bobby was on. We talked kind of a little bit about like supply and demand and distribution and stuff. And you just got to wonder, like, how much of that really did play a part. What could have been done different. It's just sad anytime you see any type of like community gaming place go down, especially too, like if from the video game standpoint, like it was top notch, man. And it just was not being utilized.
And that was the only, that's the only video game place around here that you can go and play video games at right now.
Yep, you got to go like over into Pinellas County. Really, is the next area, and even that place. James actually went today. He went to I forget what it's called, but there's a place over in the Tyrone Mall in St. Pete or Seminole or wherever they're Tyrone, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But he said it's like $20 to play all day, and they've got tons of games.
The Largo arcade one, or is that a different place?
No, this is different. This is like all game consoles, and like you can have like parties there and shit like that.
Oh, I
They've
see
got
what
everything.
you mean. Yeah,
and,
that reminds me of 4D Gaming that used to be here in Spring Hill.
Sort of, yeah. I guess it would be exactly like that. So super local reference, guys. Sorry,
Yeah.
but yeah. So it's hard and it sucks. Like that stuff doesn't succeed. But I don't know. And honestly, Matt, we talked about this the other day. Like a lot of game stores are closing, like video game stores too. Like M&M pulled out of Tampa. Their Tampa store is gone, but yet they are opening like crazy over in the Pinellas side of town.
Yeah.
And like it seems to be like that's the hot spot for video games. That's where shit's gonna succeed. You don't really have too much outside of there, and it's really weird. I just wonder why that is.
I mean, think about it. As far as now, I just know more from the Magic the Gathering local game store type aspect. I don't know too much about video games and running video game events and all that. But when I look at local game stores such as Magic and D&D and Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon, there's not a lot of money to be made from there unless you have a lot of product that you're selling, and not just sealed product, but also singles and stuff like that.
Secondhand shit.
Secondhand stuff. Because you're gonna make more profit on that compared to your sealed product, and plus having a big enough play space and more events. I mean, if you go down to Cool Stuff Inc. or Cool Stuff Games in Brandon, they do their events right. I went down there for a tournament with George, and they had like 3 other events going on, plus they had D&D going on in the back, and there had to have been like 30 or 40 people there on a Saturday afternoon. Man. And because they were having 2 Magic events plus some Yu-Gi-Oh event too, and I think a Pokemon event was coming up. And
physically, where was this at?
In Brandon, Florida.
In Brandon, yeah. That's a highly densely populated area too, so that always matters. The location's everything,
Oh yeah. And plus marketing,
marketing. You have to spend that money on marketing to make money back. Unfortunately, it's like that with everything. I don't know, man. It's sad to hear that it closed. Another place, bites the dust. We lost what was it? Was it a play and trade? Is that what closed on Del Mabry there in Tampa? We lost the M&M video games. Neverboard, like they're going away. And there's a couple of them. Like there's one in the Wiregrass Mall. I don't know how they've been open for a few months like they have, but like I go in there and inventory is meh. They don't really want to work deals because they're paying mall prices for rent, so they can't really wheel and deal with you very much. I understand that, but it's like you open the shop in a mall, and then you got the guys in the flea markets that charge more than retail, like
I know. It's like, what are you doing? I'll just go on eBay and buy these.
No overhead, yet they're charging more than retail and more than like top dollar eBay shipped, and it's like, why would I buy from you?
So coming back here to Florida, to our little town here, we have a They Who Shall Not Be Named is coming to Spring Hill now in the next couple months.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah. And it's funny, if you go on one of the gaming groups that you and I are in, someone took a picture of the shop about to open up, and everybody in the comments are just clowning him.
It's bad, dude. Yeah. Like everybody.
No one in this area likes them at all. And it's sad. And it's sad. It's going to be the only place to play Magic within 40 to 50 miles, too. That's what sucks the most about it. I'm so aggravated about that too. There's literally no place to play Magic in my area right now. Okay, well, no, I take that back. There is one that is on 19 and 52, but no one goes there because the owners are assholes.
So same problem then. Same fucking problem. Oh man. Man Cave is in the chat, and he was saying that he has aspirations from opening some type of a hybrid video game card game store. sell a lot of merchandise in that store. Sell toys and clothing and shit like that.
And another word of advice: have a lot of money backing you up too. Don't go in there with some bank loan. Make sure you have a lot of capital before you even think of opening up a store like that.
Yeah, man, it's from our area, like from watching them come and go so much. It's like you know.
You see too many people opening up hoping that they're going to strike it rich. It's
going to take off, and that's not going to happen.
Yeah, and not have enough money to back them up because, unfortunately, good intentions and goodwill and hopes and aspirations can only take you so far in business.
It's true, man. It's true. So anyways, so never bored. Peace out, guys. Thank you so much for the hospitality and for trying. We appreciate it, but hopefully you guys move on to something else cool and keep us posted.
Yeah, for sure.
Matt, this next topic is yours. Do you want to go into it and sort of explain things?
Yeah. So it's something I've been thinking about a lot, and not just in gaming, but also sort of like in life, getting back to your roots and relating this to gaming. And I sort of briefly discussed it a little bit with you today before lunch that and I know we've talked about similar stuff on the podcast before where we feel like we have to get every new game that's coming out, right? Or at least the AAA titles.
Yeah.
Right. Or the really popular ones. And we need to play as much as we can. And not just for content for the show or anything like that. It's just because we want to know what's out there. We want to basically keep up with the Joneses, right?
Dude. Yeah. Well, you don't want somebody to be talking about it and you not know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah.
You know?
But it's something that, I'm slowly coming to realization of, and I think it's just natural that we're just not going to we don't have time to do all this, and are we really enjoying ourselves when we're playing these games as well too? So what I mean by getting back to my roots is I've been going back to games like Xenoblade that are JRPGs. I've been going back to games like Call of Duty because I really enjoy them. As dumb and as terrible that a lot of people think they are and how it's basically the same game every year, I'm still enjoying it because I grew up, first person shooters were the games I grew up with, right? And it's Call of Duty just sort of keeps reminding me of the type of shooting game that I played as a kid. It's just fun, stupid deathmatch. And I don't know, I feel like that, like I said, as we get older, we sort of miss that. We sort of feel like we need to keep up with all the new stuff coming out. And I'm just sort of taking the approach where, I don't care anymore. I don't care about playing the most popular game and all that anymore. I don't care about, keeping up with whatever latest DLC and expansion is out. I'm just going to play what I want to play, whether that be old or new.
Cut to Zuby buying new Call of Duty Black Ops.
That's part of what I said. I enjoy the Call of Duty games. I really enjoy them.
So I get it, Matt, and that's kind of what I'm doing with the Vita thing as well. I'm playing shit that I want to play. That I'm exploring shit that nobody's playing fucking old Uncharted or Persona games, but I am. You know what I mean? Like. You're absolutely right. And one of the things, and I don't think you mentioned this or not, but like it's a great way to not spend a shitload of cash too, because think about it. Games are only $60 for a month or two. And the further you go back, or if you miss a game when it's new, dude, you're going to get it later on for like $10, $20.
Really depends on what kind of game. Really depends on what kind of game. JRPGs, there's a reason why a lot of them retain their value.
Well, because they're rare, right? But like, there's an exception, obviously, to that, and it also depends too on how many they sold. Like if you're buying shit, what I've noticed for the Vita is the majority of them are very fucking cheap because it became known as the JRPG machine. So there's a shitload of them because everybody that was into that jumped on that platform and bought them. So, there's exceptions to that, but. In general, especially like AAA titles, dude, you're going to get a AAA title in a few months for cheap. So if you can hold out, like if you're playing something that you enjoy, hold out. don't pay full price. Save some money. Maybe get 2 AAA titles. You know what I mean, for the price of a new one, or even 3. So
like the new South Park game is a good example. I really want to play the new South Park game, but you know what? I can wait. You know what I mean?
Yep. I haven't played it yet. I don't know. The South Park game. I thought I wanted to play it, and I do. I just it's not. I don't know.
I can wait for it. I mean, I don't know if I want to play it on the Switch or on the computer. I may just wait for a Steam sale when it's down to like $7, like I did with Stick of Truth, and just play it on there.
Think about it too. By taking this approach that you're proposing too, like case in point, like I was late to the PC gaming realm. I caught a Steam sale and I was able to get Deus Ex: Mankind Divided, which is a AAA title. I was able to get it for like $10 or $11, and I found out by playing it that I would have hated buying it at $60.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So there is a payoff there. So back to your roots. I mean, that's a great idea, man. And just see, the other thing too is, like, I think a lot of people might get caught up in what is the newest and, graphics horror and all that kind of shit.
And what everyone else is playing too.
Yeah, and what everybody else is into. And while I do understand the lure to that and get caught in it many, many times, but like there's something to playing a game that you never got to experience. Like, a lot of people in the retro gaming world, and they're in it for nostalgia purposes, which sure, it's nostalgia's cool, whatever. But like, Matt, I've been trying to buy old games that I never fucking played.
Yeah,
because I want to play them. You know what I mean? And new experiences. And the gaming is so broad that there's so much of that out there. I guarantee you, there's shit that you missed. So,
I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, like, I think what I'm gonna try and start collecting gaming wise, because I've been really slacking on it, and plus with me eventually gonna try to rework this whole room is I want to go back and collect more RPGs that I had before I had to sell my entire collection, or ones that I never played before. The one series I am determined to get is Suikoden. And Suikoden...
So much money, dude.
Well, I mean, when I compare it to Magic cards, it's not really. Because Suikoden 2, the most expensive one, I can get it from like $120 to $150 if I find a good sale. But Suikoden 1, 2, and 5 are going to be the most expensive. 3, 4 Tactics, and the Circus or whatever the fuck, the DS one, even though that one was shit or super cheap. And by cheap, I mean like $20-$30. So
how do you feel? All right, let's go. Let's put on our retro game collector hat real quick. How do you feel about the remakes, or not remakes, the
repros?
Yeah, the repros, the bootlegs of the expensive games, like that you're probably not going to spend $300 on, $250 on. How do you feel about that?
For the super expensive games, as long as they work right, I don't think I mind. But for certain series like Final Fantasy or Suikoden or any series that I really care about, I would mind.
For collector purposes,
yeah.
You want that collection to be genuine.
Yeah, but it also depends. Yeah. It also depends with emulation. Now, if there's a really expensive game I want to play, why would I go out and buy a repro of it if I just want to play it on the emulator? I completely understand playing it on original hardware, right? Completely understand that 100%. But something like Earthbound, all right, I have a SNES Mini, so do you. We have Earthbound on there. Why would I need to pay $300 for the cartridge when I have a perfectly good SNES Mini which plays really, really close to the original hardware?
So, and I don't know if I posted the pics. I think I did. It's scary close.
No, I remember you showed me the little video. Well, no, when I was at your house, we were doing Mega Man X comparison.
Mega Man X. I did a Mega Man X comparison from the real yellow Super Nintendo that I have. Not even a one chip, just like the regular one, just upscaled to the Framemeister, and then the SNES Classic. Same game. Almost same frame for frame. There is no noticeable lag. The controllers feel great. The colors, the pixels, the size, the scaling, everything. It's dead on. In that instance, I don't mind accurate emulation for old games. And I especially don't mind it when it's made by the actual, manufacturer. But but that does let you play, like you said, like we can play Secret of Mana without having to pay for it. Or what's the other one?
Earthbound,
which is crazy expensive, which is a great thing because, I actually played that, Matt. I forgot to tell you about that. I actually played Earthbound. I don't know if it's because it's too old now or like the thing that really irks me with that is the fighting scenes.
It's
the way it's super old school.
Yeah, I don't like the way the battle system is in the game, but
no.
I understand why everybody loves the game. It's such a wacky ass game if you play through it,
right?
And but it is a lot of fun, and but it's very, very, very dated in terms of its mechanics.
But think about this: if I would have paid the $200 or whatever for the real one, I would have been disappointed as fuck.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
but like you said, that would have. I would only get a game like Earthbound if I really wanted it. Now there's perceived value for games as well too. Like Final Fantasy III on the Super Nintendo, I am going to get that game again even though I have a Super Nintendo Mini, right? So it's I don't mind paying the $60 to $70 to buy it again as long as it's real. If it's a repro, I'll be pissed as hell.
Yeah. Yeah, that sucks. I hate all the games that aren't inherently very expensive at all that are reproed for the sake of somebody trying to make a buck. I have a fucking problem with.
But it's going to be the reality of the situation going forward. It's going to be easier to fake. I mean, we talked about, what was it? You and I talking about Pokemon games are getting super easy to fake, the DS ones.
The DS ones you almost can't tell. Even the Game Boy Advance ones. If you, it's not my favorite YouTube channel, but like if you look at like Metal Jesus Rocks, you go to his YouTube channel. He does a video on like spotting fakes with Kelsey. She owns a retro video game shop up in Seattle, and like she plays a prank. She plays a trick on him, like to tell him to pick out which Game Boy Advance Pokemon game is fake and which one is real, and they're all fakes. Even the best one, she's like, you actually can't tell this one apart from a real one. She's like, I just happen it's like, holy shit. So like that's unnecessary because real ones of those games are $30. You know what I mean? Not even. They're probably less now. They're, like, come on, like you're bootlegging that shit. Like, so I have a problem when it's that. It's shit. Like, why can't we be honest about repros? Like, especially ones, I guess licensing is an issue. So, I mean, that's probably the real reason why. But, like, just if it says it's a repro, like, okay, well, you're being honest. You know what I mean? Like, that's fine. Like, I'm not getting fucked, because a lot of people do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know, but I don't know.
Man Cave says that he might have to play Earthbound now. As a child, it confused the hell out of him. Dude, it will confuse you to this day. Like, it's bad. It's bad. So what do we got here? We got Electric Mastro, because some people value money more than others for one reason or another. Yeah, true. I get making a buck, but it's not very honest,
People are going to do it. I mean, there's a whole bootleg market for Magic cards, and you and I have talked about this. It's getting harder and harder to tell fake Magic cards and all that stuff, for especially the older ones. So,
which you're saying, like, they're getting like the paper feel right and everything too.
It's getting closer. I mean,
that's crazy. That's crazy.
I mean, you can't. I mean, you can definitely tell when you feel it. Like if I handed you a fake card and didn't tell you it was fake, you'd think it was be real, because you don't play a lot of Magic. But for someone like me, I can tell the difference between a card that came out of a booster pack compared to a card that came out of an intro pack. There's two different feelings for them. But the fakes, they're getting better. It still doesn't feel that good, or they don't feel as correct, I guess is the better word. But it's getting closer though.
The other thing that, like, now let's see if we got a couple of people in the chat here. Let's see if you guys anybody else does this. If anybody's as hardcore as me, I'm honestly, like, when I'm spending, we'll say probably about $25 and up, I'm opening a game at the game store to make sure that it's real. I'm to the point, Matt, like how you can tell, like if cards are real or fake. I'm fucking checking the chips inside.
Yeah.
And like
but if you're a big store, like say GameStop, for instance, how are you going to check each and every single game that you process? I mean,
see, that's the problem with GameStop's online retro game sales.
I just say
that's a big problem. For
I
them,
just
actually.
say that as an example. Like, say if you're just a mom and pop shop actively getting in trades for old games, how are you going to literally sit there and test each and every single one, open each one while you're trying to do a trade for someone?
So the answer is, for mom and pop shops, they do. The good ones do. Absolutely. They
probably
don't,
for the more expensive games.
Yeah, they don't for like golf on NES and shit like that.
Oh,
you know
they
what I mean?
should. And you know how many fakes there are of those?
None, because there's a billion of them. But they do, and they should. And if they don't, or they don't want to open it for you, you don't need to buy from them. Because if you're that much of a collector that you care if it's real or not, and they don't want to do that or let you do it, or they don't even have the fucking tool, just leave. Like, it's not worth it. It's really fucking not. Especially if you're going to spend good money on it, Again, like, there's a reason why a repro is $30 versus the real game is $200, and and that's okay. This, but when somebody's selling the real thing, you're going to put $200 or $300 or $1,000 or whatever it is on it, and they don't want to open it up. Bail, bro, because you're a collector at that point, and that's what you care about, and so. That's something that people should definitely go into their whole. Man Cave says, as do I. He videotapes himself opening his cartridges. Wow, that's okay. You take it to the next level, and it's all about the chips.
Sometimes you have to, man.
That's my boy right there. He gets it. The chips, dude. They tell no lies, man. It's all about them chips. Have you opened anything up, Man Cave, that it was new school? That wasn't old. It was all like on one chip. I did not too long ago, and I didn't buy it. It was
oh damn,
yeah. It was only like a $25 game. It was what was it? It was on regular Nintendo. God damn it, what was it? Oh, it was Batman. The one where you what is it? Not
Which
Returns.
One?
No, Returns is on Super.
Yeah.
The one where you climb on the walls.
Talk about just Batman on
just
Nintendo.
Batman, I guess, on NES. Yeah, it was only like $25 or $30 or something like that. And I was like, hey, can we open it up? And they were cool. And they opened it up, and it was like one chip for everything. I was like, get that shit out of here. And they actually were super cool. They were like, oh my God. They're like,
shit,
yeah.
Now you're going to make me open up my Nintendo games and be like, fuck, are any of these fake?
You want to hear something else? And I'm not mad about it because we paid $8 shipped. But my Blaster Master that we bought live on the show is a real, when you open it up, it is real. It's the authentic Blaster Master. And it is a real original NES cartridge, but my label is a repro on that. Hard.
Oh,
and yours is not.
How do you tell?
I'll show you.
Okay.
Well, this one almost, like when you see it next to another one, it almost looks like it's laminated.
I'm going to pull up our Instagram and check here.
Yeah, it's almost as if it's laminated, the one that I have. And I thought,
because yours looks way cleaner than mine.
Now the thing is, the cartridge is real, and the chip is real inside. I guess just the label was fucked up, and they wanted to do it. But on an $8 game, I'm not pissed off, and I'm more happy that it's the real.
Yeah, because your colors look more popping than mine. Mine look a little bit more faded.
If you remember, bring yours in tomorrow, dude. You'll see.
Okay.
But I was like, oh well, maybe some of them were kind of nice like this label. No, dude. Every single one of my NES games, they're the same. They're the same type of everything. This thing stands out like a sore thumb, even to the touch, to the look, everything. Yeah. But I'm not mad. It was an $8 game shipped. It's still the real game, and I'm not that crazy of a collector. I have repro cases for my games just because I don't want them sitting out without a case. I'm not that hardcore, so it doesn't bother me. But that shit happens, man. It happens. It happens to me all the time. Yeah. So check it. Nothing botched, but somebody sent me a Final Fantasy 1 cart packaged in. Wait for it, wrapped in cardboard from a 12-pack of Sprite. Oh my God, fucking dirtbags, dude.
Wait, so
seriously?
You don't do that?
Yeah, that's not how you play. No.
Oh, so I use Coke, not Sprite. So.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, bro. Gotta get that white powder. I mean, that drink.
Caffeine, Coke. Kofiend.
Kofiend.
Kofiend. Uh, yeah. So anyways, yeah, it's good to know, man. That's awesome that Man Cave was just as fucking anal about it as me. I at least want to know. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm getting fucked, I want to know. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, and he said it was cracked in half. Shocker. And they said I was trying to scam them and getting my money back.
okay.
Oh, I would have been so pissed.
Okay. Is that eBay? Because if it's eBay, then it's fuck the buyer, and if it's Amazon, it's fuck the seller.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's yeah. Anyways, what do we got? We got a couple news topics, Matt.
Yeah, there's one that I really want to talk about. Not the Call of Duty one. It's the so there's one channel. I guess it's GVMERS. I guess it's gamers. I guess I don't fucking know.
Okay.
It's just the name of the YouTube channel. It's GVMERS, but I think it's maybe
supposed to be gamers, but the V is the A upside down. Yeah,
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they released a documentary called "The Rise and Fall of Half-Life," and if you know anything about me, Half-Life is one of my all-time favorite games. The first one, Half-Life.
So good.
Half-Life 2 is, I would say, plays better than Half-Life 1, but the thing, and I know we've talked about this before, is the thing with growing up on first-person shooting games, Half-Life 1 was revolutionized the way shooters were after that point. In terms of storytelling, in terms of gameplay, and just in terms of everything, it revolutionized the genre.
Agreed.
So the rise and fall of Half-Life was mainly talking about, the beginnings of Half-Life 1 and all the trouble it took to make Half-Life 2 and episodes 1 and 2, and then really what happened to Half-Life 3. So there's two things that you can sort of find out about Half-Life 3 is, one of the things that caused Half-Life 3 to never come out was the success of Half-Life 2. And Valve is notorious for taking their time when making games, very similar to Blizzard, but Blizzard is a little bit more communicative about the games that they're making, at least way better than Valve ever
Valve's
was.
on a whole nother level, though, dude. They don't even really make games anymore, dude.
Not anymore. But when they did, though,
yeah,
they never talked about, the games they were making. They would say, like, they'd give extremely vague statements on the game that they're making. So eventually what happened was Valve fired some of the original, people that worked on Half-Life 1 and 2, or laid them off, or they quit, or whatever happened. I don't know exactly. One of those people happened to be the writer of Half-Life 1 and 2. And when he got laid off, like a week later, he releases an entry in his blog basically talking about what was going to happen in Half-Life 3, like what was going to happen in the game, like from beginning to end. But
was that legit? Because didn't somebody try to like disprove that?
No. It was legit. It was
okay.
From him, but he had to, for legal purposes, he had to rename everything to different names because he didn't want to get sued.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, I mean, at least in one way, that sort of gives us some closure on what happens in the story of Half-Life. But there was another article that has come out that this guy about a year ago back in 2015, this guy was really trying to find someone at Valve to talk about what's going on with Half-Life. And he couldn't get... He did have one person reach out to him, and of course he can't prove or disprove this because the guy wouldn't go on record or anything.
Okay.
So
you don't
for
like you
legal
blame
purposes.
Him. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So the guy that this journalist was talking to basically said there have been many times when Valve has tried to get Half-Life 3 started, or Episode 3, or whatever they want to call it, started up, but it would fall apart. And then they would try again, it would fall apart, and it's been happening since the end of Episode 2 of Half-Life 2. And so eventually now it's sort of, according to this unnamed source, it's sort of a topic you don't even talk about at Valve anymore. And the reason why, and they just sort of go on about that. So the thing that drives me the craziest about this whole Half-Life 3 thing is I don't understand why Valve just can't come out and say, hey, we're not working on it right now. And just fucking say that. They have never announced that they were or were not working on it.
You think it's like they just give not enough fucks at all, like to even bother mentioning it? Like they just have the money printer of Steam and they just who gives a shit?
That's probably a very big reason. But the only other thing I can think about, and it's something that article said, was in the world of developing video games is nothing is ever truly shelved. I mean, Duke Nukem is a good example. Like, how many times did Duke Nukem Forever, was being worked on, then it got shelved, and then being worked on, got shelved. That went on for 10 plus years, right?
Yeah.
Until they came out with that game.
Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah,
is a good example of
that. So,
I
mean, it's also very possible that one day Valve may give the rights to Half-Life to another company to build it. So, but I get why they may not want to say anything because that may happen one day. But I also still don't understand why don't they just come out and say, I mean, at this point, everybody knows nothing is coming out with Half-Life. But back in 2011, 2012, when everybody was thinking, oh, hey, it still may happen, why didn't they just come out and say, hey, we're not working on it right now? That
right.
You would just quell everybody. A lot of people would be pissed, myself included. But at least,
it could fuck up their stock.
Yeah. Oh, no, I know that they got to think of that too. But at least it would just quell the rumors. I
don't know. I think that maybe because they're waiting for a drought or a time where it might need to. All right, peace out, man cave. Thanks, bro. But maybe they're waiting for it, for a drought or something. I mean, at this point, too, if they were working on it, even as recently as 10 years ago, it's got to be scrapped and started over from scratch.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sure it's almost
in a
frustrating.
game of that caliber, too. Think about the money and the time. I mean, you're talking 5 years development, probably minimum. I mean, it's probably crazy expensive. If they did have something in the works and then a bunch of time passed by, it's probably all scrapped and they know that. So it's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of dumb, though. I think there's so many Half-Life fans that if they did spit it out, that it would, oh my God, it would sell like fucking wildfire.
It would.
It would be number one on Steam. Guaranteed.
Yeah, it would. But should they focus resources on that when it may not make them as much money as, say, Steam does in a day?
Oh, true. True, so. But he also has I forget what's the dude's name?
Gabe Newell.
Yeah, Gabe has insane money. So what the fuck, man? Throw some of it at it. You know what I mean? And see what sticks. Come on, bro. Like, I don't know. That's what I would do. Absolutely. So, I didn't watch this yet, Matt, but
it's pretty interesting.
I'm super interested. Is it well done? They have another one too about the rise and fall of Crisis and stuff. Like I'm looking at it here. So
yeah, I haven't watched any of the other stuff. I just saw this since it came out just a few days ago. Okay. It's pretty well done. They also talk about another thing that one of the article I mentioned surmises is that. Maybe one of the reasons why they don't want to say anything about Half-Life 3 is because of what happened to them before Half-Life 2 came out. When they got hacked and someone released the early version of Half-Life 2 to the public. Mm-hmm. So that could be another reason why, which that would make sense. But I think we're so far gone to where, I mean, I don't have any, I don't have any guesses or anything like that they're gonna make a Half-Life 3 at this point. I just don't think it's gonna happen. And if it does,
it's not gonna happen.
If it does, it's gonna be another company that does it. They sell the rights to it, and that's
an interesting thought.
Wow. I mean, it worked for Sonic the Hedgehog, and
true.
I'm just it's sad, but it's I guess the reality situation. Electric Mastro.
Yeah,
is saying, and you'd be pissed not because of entitlement, but because of reasons that are understandable, right? Because I think an outsider would just look at this and conclude the fan base is a bunch of entitled, selfish twats that aren't entitled to anything, or so I surmise. So
that could be a mindset that's going on too.
Well, yeah,
absolutely.
And like you mentioned before too, you have stockholders where does
or investors. I don't know if they're publicly traded, but I'm sure there's people that have money tied up in it. Yeah.
Like, do you as the CEO of Valve want to go out and mention that, hey, this game is never going to happen and just piss off people? Why release a negative statement like that, right?
Right.
It's better to not say anything, which I completely get from a business standpoint, 100% understand. But it's also kind of another thing where, and I would say this more towards from the early 2010s where they were almost kind of leading on that they were working on it, because Gabe Newell would say little statements here and there making it seem like Val was working on it, and then nothing happened, and then he just sort of remained quiet for the next 5 years or so up until now. So
go ahead, sorry.
So that's where it almost kind of pissed off the fans in a sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Electric Mastro is saying, did it happen with later games like Portal?
No.
Portal is something they've kept alive.
No, they're not even going to do a Portal 3. That's completely done with.
Well, Portal 3, yeah, but they've ported Portal to a bunch of consoles and shit.
Yeah, but
we got to
remember that was a long time ago now. That's like back 2010, 2011.
Okay, but they licensed Portal to Lego, what the fuck?
It's that bridge building game.
What do you mean?
There's a game like this bridge construction game that's using the Portal license right now.
Yeah, but like there's a Lego game that my son plays with, like a Portal. You build the shit and you put them on there. Yeah. And they show up. And Portal is an IP, or not an IP, but it is a property that's in there.
Yeah, but they're not going to make any more Portal games though. That's the thing.
Yeah, probably not.
It's same as Half-Life, because in Final Fantasy 15 on the PC is you can get a Gordon Freeman suit in the game, but that doesn't mean that Half-Life is coming back ever. It's
true. That's true. They're just selling out some of the licensing rights. You know, something funny about Portal is there was a kids react, or I think it was teens react video by the Fine Brothers, and they did Portal, because a lot of them had never played it, right?
Yeah.
And it was cool because like every single one of them got like super duper into it. It's like
they are fun games. Did you beat both of them?
I beat the first one. First one.
Yeah, you should definitely play the second one. The second one is longer than the first one, and I feel like there were some parts that you just really get stuck on the puzzles, but I feel like the puzzles, I don't know. I feel like the first one it's hard to, I don't want to spoil anything if you ever decide to play the second one, but it was still a really good game though.
I'll check it out. I remember playing it. I don't remember beating it. I certainly remember it being out, and I think maybe somebody I knew had it, and like we fucked around, and I did like a couple levels. But one I played start to finish. I never really fucked with two.
Oh, you know what? That would be cool for you to get Portal 2 when like maybe the summer Steam sale, because they have the co-op mode, and I've never played the co-op mode before.
Oh, that'd be cool. We could do that. You know, we could do that.
That'd be fun to stream too.
Yeah, do like a stream, maybe not a Matt versus Matt, but like a Matt and Matt or something like that. We could do that. That'd be fun. I'd be down with that.
I'd definitely be down for that.
Hell yeah.
I'll remind you to get it when it goes on sale.
Yeah, please.
I don't even know how much it is right now. I can't imagine it's
I'm
that
sure
expensive.
It's crazy cheap. Yeah, no. What else do we got? Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is announced. Zuby fanboying it the fuck up with that one.
So,
in case y'all missed it,
I am excited about the game, but there are some announcements with the game that I'm disappointed about. I mean, I'm more excited about the multiplayer because that's pretty much all I play in Call of Duty. But they have announced that they're not doing a campaign mode in this, and I'm disappointed, even though I don't typically play all the campaigns a lot. I do usually play them once through just to beat them, and I usually play it on easy mode because I enjoy the story. Right? I don't care about the challenge or anything like that.
Well, the completionist inside you too has to do it, you know.
Yeah, and so they're not having a campaign. They are having a zombie mode, but they're also having a battle royale mode now.
Which of course they are.
I know.
What doesn't have a battle royale mode now, dude?
They're calling it Blackout, but one of the other interesting aspects of the multiplayer is they're really pushing the Overwatch theme of this now. They're
like classes and support and all that type of shit. Yeah.
They're no longer, because Black Ops 3 had a lot of wall jumping and jetpacks and all that stuff. Even though this game does look futuristic like Black Ops 3, there's not going to be any wall jumping and jetpacks apparently, according to them.
Thank God.
And that, but like I said, they did say this is going to be more Overwatch-esque apparently.
So, a lot of people are hating on them for that and for the battle royale mode, but on the other hand, like, I'm kind of applauding them a little bit on opening the game up a little bit and broadening it, because for so long now it's just been the same shit. So that's okay. It's okay for it to evolve a little bit. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna be interested in playing it. I mean, I know I'm gonna buy it, obviously. But yeah, I mean, you just have to wait and see. Black Ops 3 is on sale right now for $20 at Best Buy.
Ooh. Yeah, but it's not going to matter when 4 comes out, though.
I know.
I'm looking at it, and dude, I mean, graphically, this game is going to be a beast. It's going to look phenomenal, especially on PC. I'm watching gameplay, and I'd expect this is PC gameplay. It doesn't say, but it could be PS4 Pro, or it could be test hardware. But dude, on PC,
I don't know
this shit at like 120 frames is going to be disgusting.
Yeah. So another thing they announced is this is also going to be on the Blizzard Battle.net launcher, along with like Destiny 2 as well. So I'm not getting it on PC because to me Call of Duty is a sit down on the couch type game. And but that's cool that they're putting it on the Blizzard launcher, because I feel it's almost slightly better than Steam in some aspects.
Wow. Holy shit, you just fanboyed out so hard, man. How much are they paying you, dude? And why am I not getting any of this residual?
No, I mean more the social aspect of
okay. I could see. Yeah, you're right.
Because, I don't know, Blizzard is just doing better. I mean, they've got their own kind of Discord-esque in the Blizzard app now.
I haven't fucked with that very much.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't messed with it too much either. I haven't played a Blizzard game in a while now. The wife and I haven't really been playing World of Warcraft lately at all anymore. So,
feeling okay?
I mean, like I said, the World of Warcraft comes and goes, and I'm sure I'm going to get back into it when the new expansion comes out. So,
always, you hear that, Grand Theft Auto or Rockstar? You hear that? People buy the expansions, you dicks.
Yeah. Especially single-player expansions, you fucktards.
God, yeah, that was a conversation we had today that was fucking rather depressing. God, they better not have no short-ass fucking single-player on Red Dead. Ugh.
That's why one of the things I'm going to look for when it comes to Red Dead 2 reviews is how long was the campaign. Like, if it's 30 to 40 hours, I'll be fine. I'll get it day one. If they say it's anything less than that, then
30. So what if it's 27?
Well, I mean, you know what I mean. Like,
yeah, I do.
Like an average person takes 30 to 40 hours, and that includes doing side missions and stuff, but not 100%ing completing the game.
I think we determined previously too that was kind of the sweet spot for most people on games. Yeah, right around there. Like, it's still a big chunk of time, but it's not an unreasonable amount of time. You can play it over a few weeks and get it in. Yeah.
So do you want to talk about the last story of the night here?
Yeah, the last one is nothing major, but it is getting late. I do have to go walk my fucking dog. And that is not and it's a metaphor or anything.
A euphemism?
It's not a euphemism by any means. Well, it could be. I don't know. I might do that. But PS4 has a new officially licensed controller that is apparently trying super duper hard to be an Xbox Pro controller, or Elite, I think they call it, the Xbox One Elite controller.
Yeah.
So
it does look pretty cool.
It does. They announced it today. It's who makes it? I'm trying to find Scuffs is the company.
Scuff?
SCUFS. Yeah, Scuffs. Like you scuffed your shoes. It's kind of cool. It's got like it's got the removable under the controller like levers for your R control, your L and R buttons, which everybody likes because that's faster than pulling the triggers and stuff for some reason. So it's got those, which is cool, and you don't have to run those. And it's got the joysticks are customizable, so you can change like the height and all that. You can do a few different things with them. The most interesting thing is they swapped the D-pad and the left analog stick. So that's what really makes it kind of be Xbox-esque. Matt, I like the Xbox controller. In fact, the Xbox 360 controller may be one of my favorite controllers. But I don't have a problem with the analogs both being next to each other versus staggered like on the Xbox. And apparently it's a thing because the officially licensed like pro style controller, does that. What's your feelings on the staggered analog versus not? Because to me, I don't really give a shit.
Yeah, I don't really. I do prefer the Sony style controller more because I played way more on that. But I've become accustomed to the Xbox style since I have one for my computer.
Right.
So, I mean, like, if I had a choice, I'd rather choose the PlayStation one.
Melissa's little brother, when he grabs the PlayStation controller, he always like complains that he gets screwed up because of that. And I'm just like I believe him. Like he has no reason to lie. But yeah, like it's just weird to me. It's like, how can I don't know, dude. Like when your thumbs are on them, they're on them. And your left one doesn't move. You know what I mean? Like the one that's out of place doesn't move. So like, I don't know. You guys let us know how you feel about this. This is always like a never-ending thing, but apparently it's the optimal way because the professional grade, whatever you want to call it, PlayStation controller has switched to that method. So will Sony do this in the future on future controllers? I fucking hope not. Yeah, I don't think they will. Their controller is kind of iconic. It's kind of like a brand thing.
Did you see how expensive this controller is?
No shit, I didn't even look. I'm sure it's crazy expensive.
$170. I don't give a shit about this now. I was kind of liking it, but now I don't like it at all.
Yeah, but isn't the Elite controller like $200?
I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna pay that much money for a goddamn controller.
Hold on, let's find out because I want to know. Xbox Elite controller. Here we go, guys. Surveys, $150.
Yeah, fuck that. All right.
Yep.
I'll rather go. I could go buy Suikoden 2 if I wanted to.
You could have it. Here's the thing too about the whole Elite controller thing. I'd like to hear from somebody that uses one to see what they think. I get the customizableness of it. I tried playing a shooter at the Microsoft Store, Matt, with the fucking paddles underneath.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Maybe if I gave it time, I would.
Bro. We're not
yeah,
pros.
I know. Maybe if I gave it time. But truthfully, like, I think about pros for like shooters and they're on the PC. I think about pros in fighting games. They've got fighting sticks.
Yeah.
Like, who is this really for? You know what I mean? Like,
for those kids to show off to their other friends.
I don't know. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope somebody tells me what I'm missing, but I don't know. Like, I'm good with the stock controller, man. You know what I have the biggest pet peeve with is like the old shitty like Mad Catz controllers and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't want one of those. Like, those were bad. Specifically the Mad Catz ones on the PS2. I have one. I have a Mad Catz wireless controller for the PS2. Like, it feels like the thumbsticks are like 7 foot in the air, dude. Like, that's what I have a problem with. Like, there wasn't anything wrong with the stock controller, you know? Rant done. So, Matt, that's it. That's what we got. Do you have anything that you want to add in before we do the goodbyes and the adieus?
Nope, because I gotta pee.
Yeah, true that. Me too.
I've drank a bottle and a half of water.
Just to reiterate, we are going to be at Megacon Orlando this weekend on Sunday the 27th. Come holler at your boys. Come talk with us. We will be there. We'd love to hear from you. Love to meet up with y'all. Look for us. We'll be the artards wearing VCR gaming shirts, running around with a digital recorder. Can't miss us.
I better bring that shit.
You can find Mr. Zuby over at his other podcast, Magic with Zuby, searchable on all the things. You can catch him on the tweets at Zubatron. Matt, where can they find the show?
They can find the show at vcrgamingpodcast.com. It's also on YouTube if you search VCR Gaming. We're on Twitter at VCR Gaming, on Instagram at VCR Gaming, on Facebook.com/VCR Gaming. And if you want to email us with any questions or anything like that, email us at vcrgamingpodcast@gmail.com.
Hell yeah. You can catch me on the tweets at Killabees2T, KILLABEEZZ, the number 2, the letter T.
You need a better handle, man.
Fuck it. Killabees2T. Deal with it. I'm going to stop spelling it. I'm just going to say it. People will find us. Actually, I use the VCR at VCR Gaming one more than anything. So just do that.
I've been pretty much using Magic with Zuby more than anything because
there you go.
It's a pain in the butt to go between the two.
It really is, dude. Yeah. It really is. And that's a whole nother episode, guys. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Man Cave. Thank you, Electric Mastro, for joining us in the chat tonight and adding content. As always, we love that. You guys join us when we go live, typically on Sundays at 5. This week was an exception, but we usually tweet it out right before we go live. So check our Twitters, and you will know this, won't you?
Oh, yeah.
That is it. Matt, thank you, sir, for another good podcast. And so, all right, everybody, have a great day, night, whatever you're listening to us.